So, ayun lang. Madali lang mag-compute. Ayan na. So, magkakaroon kayo nito. So, may budget na kayo for So, see, malaking tulong sa inyo to kasi kaya ako nilagay sa Excel. Kasi pagpunta niyo sa income statement, kunyari lang sa income statement, no? Yung net income after tax niyo masyadong maliit. Napakaliit. No? So, pag masyado siyang maliit, pwede ka mag-adjust dito. So, pag nag-adjust ka dito, nakakonekta naman siya sa income statement, magre-reflect yan dito. And then, pag nag-reflect lahat yan dito, everything will follow. So, tataas yung net income mo. Okay. And then, you can judge for yourselves kung uubra na yun sa startup company. Okay? Questions? No questions? Sige. So, let's go to direct cost. How do you get your direct cost? No? So, ito yung cost of goods sold. Sige, pagtan natin ito. Dali. Di pala siya tugma. Sandali lang, ha? 196. Okay. Sige, class. Direct costing. Now, pag nagde-direct costing kayo, make sure na nakatuon yung pansin niyo sa quantity. Okay. Now, usually, ang ginagawa ng kung kunyari 42,000 gagawin niyo rito. Pwede kayo anong tawag doon? Round up. Pwede ba yung round up? No. Pwede kayo mag-round up. Okay. So, 41,761. Ay, bakit ba 0? Okay. Pantang ko nga ito. Sa tens. Ano ba mag-round up sa Excel? Sige, anyway. Ganyan lang muna. 41,761. So, I was about to explain. Pag meron kayong annual demand, kuha kayo ng 5-year average. Okay. So, that will be equal to, syempre, divided by 5. Okay. Tapos, kunin niyo yung monthly output divided by 12 months. Tapos, kunin niyo yung daily output 25 days. So, this is what you need to, this is what you need to produce on a daily basis. O dapat meron kayo. Or kung gusto niyo yung monthly, Ito naman yun, per month. Doesn't really matter. Okay? So, kaya ko lang ginawa itong per day. Kasi yung gumagawa sa production. Example lang, all-in production. Ito yung number of people. Ito yung processes. Okay. To produce 145 units per day. So pag kinuha ko yung daily wage nila, okay, multiply mo lang on a day, ito yung babayaran mo per day. Kunwari lang per day. Okay. So kung per day yan, so di-divide mo lang sa 145, you will get this, 302 per unit. So pesos per unit. Okay? So ulit ko kunin niyo yung average per year. Kunin niyo yung per day. Per month. Then per day. Kasi kung daily wage workers ang kukunin mo, diba? 25 days lang kasi yun. So may total ka. Ito yan. Okay? And then you divide it by the number of units produced per day. Meron kang 302 per unit. So if you want to increase this, kunyari, in labor niya, kasi every year tumataas. Let's say, assume lang, tumataas yung labor by 2.42%. So magi-increase ito, hindi direct labor. Okay? So, why am I doing this? Diretso na ako sa income statement. Now, this is very important. In sales revenue, kinuha natin sa marketing plan with quantity assumptions and price assumptions on a yearly basis. So this will produce the top line. So, kaya siya tinawag top line. Dito nag-uumpisa lahat ng accounting statements. Sales or sales revenues. Okay? Yung bottom line na tinatawag, ito yun, net income after tax. Yan yung bottom. I can put that here, bottom. Yan yung bottom line. Ito yung top line. So anything in between will be your cost. If you will remember the equation, profit, bottom line, okay, is equal to sales revenues minus cost. Dalawang klaseng cost. No? Yung cost of goods sold, pati yung tinatawag na general, selling, and administrative expenses. Okay. So kung ganyan, malalatag ninyo ng maayos yung income statement na niyo. Habang ginagawa niyo yung assumptions, nagre-reflect na siya rito. Okay. So, cost of goods sold is made up of three major items. Direct materials. Saan natin makukuha ito? So, makukuha natin ito dun sa lagay na natin, XBOM. So, yung technical plan ninyo, meron product specs yun. Yung product specs na yun will have a corresponding bill of materials. So, what will be needed, okay, in order to produce 1 unit of a product. Kunyari lang, lumabas 4,700 pesos per unit. So, itong mga ito per unit. Yeah, per unit lahat. So, 4,700 per unit, 300 per unit. Indirect labor. Ayan. So, kunyari, in-estimate na lang natin. Ginawa natin 302. So, ayan, 300. Tapos yung variable overhead or factory overhead, yan yung mga expenses na walang kinalaman sa direct labor at direct materials. Pero kailangan siya sa production. So, kasama dyan yung lahat ng iniisip niyo na utilities, yan, pasok yan doon. Mga packaging supplies, pasok yan doon. Okay. So, magkakaroon pa niyan. Such that it will also provide yung increases. Okay. Now, increases sa price. Increases sa price. So, kanina, yung through 300, meron siyang annual increase ng 242%. Now, what you can do is you can input that on the next year. So, makikita naman ninyo na ito. Okay. So, 1 plus direct cost. Dito yun. 1 plus 0,242. Tapos naka-multiply siya doon sa 300. Ayan. Okay. Now, paano ba nakuha itong mga peso figures nito? Now, itong peso figures nito, manggagaling doon sa quantity 41,761. In units to, di ba? I-multiply mo ng 47. So, 41 times 47 equals this. Yan. Tapos, pag yung formula, nilagyan mo ng increase, ayan. Pati ito. Ayan. Dapat yata square. O, dapat square to. Kasi papatungan mo yung presyo ng 200. So, dapat square na ito. Tapos ito 3. Kasi minumultiply mo yun ng 1 point increase nito, year on year. So, dapat square yata ito. Sample lang. Ito, cube. Ay, wait. 1 plus S. Ano yung SC8? C8. Na inassume lang. Okay, inassume lang. Okay, tama yan. So, likewise, dun sa direct labor, pwede rin kayo lagay ng increase. Ayan. Dapat nga ito may square. Sige. So, assuming ganito na yung cost of goods sold natin, makukuha natin itong mga total direct cost. Okay? And then, isusubtract yan para maging gross margin. Okay. So, na minus na yung isang major cost. No? The next major cost will be GSAE, General Selling and Administrative Expenses. Okay? So, kung makikita ninyo dito, may salaries and wages. Okay, so tingnan natin. Ha? Ito, in-example ko lang na maramihang tao. Ayan. Kinuha ko yung lahat ng posisyon. Tapos yung number in parentheses, siya yung number of people. Okay. Lahat ng mga ito, hindi kasama sa production. Therefore, monthly salary sila. So kung monthly salary sila, ito yung salaries mo for the month. Okay. Multiply mo ng ano ba minultiply ko? 12. Okay. Ito yung annual salary nila. Ito yung 13th month pay nila by law. Okay. Medyo detalyado lang pero it can be easily understood. So 12 months salary plus 13th month pay. Meron dito benefits. So ito yung total salaries and benefits. Okay. So annual na ito. Annual. Annual na yan. Ito assumption lang yan na yung benefits niya 30% of monthly rate. So kung ilalagay mo sa income statement yan. Okay. Ito yung salaries. Ay, 16 nga ba? Okay. So ano lang yan? Sample lang yan. So pwede natin baguhin. Dali lang, ha? Huwag naman natin baguhin, ano lang yan, example lang yan. Pero baka i-trace ninyo. Please take note. Hindi na na-adjust to. So 15, 4, 20. Pwede ninyo ilagay yan dito. 15. Yeah. Subukan natin, ha? Equals. I know now. Okay. Pwede ilagay itong ano, is equal to inad pala ito. In 13th month. Inad. Okay. 16 kaya pala. 16, 7. Okay, sige. So, ayan na yan. And then, take note of the other GSAE items. Selling, promotion. Sa marketing, makukuha yan. Then you can assume shipping expenses, utilities. Okay? Mamaya ako napapaliwanag yung depreciation. No? Tapos yung mga supplies kailangan sa opisina. Then yung mga services na pwedeng ikontrata. Subcontract, janitorial, security. Then you also need insurance. Pag walang utang, interest. May interest expense yan. Actually, the title here should be loan amortization and interest expense. So magbabayad ka rin ng loan, principal, tapos yung interest for that year. So dito, ang assumption dito, walang utang. Okay. And then you can provide for miscellaneous. So you will note that this is on an annual basis, your GSAE, which when subtracted from the gross margin, will give you a net income before tax. So kung tawagin yun, NIBT. Tapos let's assume that this is a corporation that you put up. So estimated lang, 30% tax. Ina-apply lang yung 30% kapag positive ito. Pag negative, walang tax babayaran. So 30%. Okay. So ito yun. Malaki talaga ang tax. So you arrive at a net income after tax. Okay. So pwede na kayo mag-compute ng isang ratio, profitability ratio. It is equal to the net income after tax divided by your sales. Ito yun. So 9%. Oh, that's decent. Medyo decent na yun. Okay. Profitability ratio. It means for every 1 peso sales, you earn 9 centavos or 10 centavos. 9 to 10 centavos. Okay na. Okay? Now, here's an entry that says dividends paid. Pag korporasyon kasi, maraming investors. So you can pay 10% of what you earn here. Ilalabas ninyo yan as cash. Ang maiiwan, okay, so let's say yung net income dito, pagdating dito, actually kasi kini-carry over yan, papakita ko mamaya kung paano kini-carry. So 10%, pwede kang hindi magbigay sa first year kasi kakatayo lang ng kumpanya. Pwede ka magbayad on the second, third, fourth, and fifth year. Kung gugustuhin ninyo at your option. So, bakit siya tinawag retained earnings? Now, kaya siya tinawag na retained earnings kasi after paying out dividends to the investors, to the stockholders, itong maiiwan na profits sa kumpanya. Ang may-ari ngayon nito, kumpanya, sa corporation. Okay. And all of this should reflect dun sa tinatawag na balance sheet. Ayan. Ayan o. So kung makikita ninyo, ito yung mga puhunan ng mga stockholders. Yung retained earnings, dito nilalagay. Okay, this is not the same, hindi siya nakakabit doon sa, hindi siya nakakabit doon sa ibang Excel tabs. Hindi siya nakakabit. Example lang to. So nakikita niyo na lumalaki yung kumpanya. Tapos meron pang mga earnings yan from other activities. So nilalagay rin yan. Tapos ito yung total. You will note na ganito yung halaga ng kumpanya ninyo. So doon sa 70,000 na puhunan, nagiging ganito. Yan, nagiging ganyan kalaki. So yung balance sheet na sinabi ko sa inyo last time na ipapaliwanag ko ngayon, it is a snapshot picture of how much is your, what is the value of your company. So ito yung mga entries doon. Okay? Now, ang equation naman dito, yung total liabilities, utang. Okay? Plus yung equity made up of yung unang investment plus yung kinita ng kumpanya na kinary over onto the next year, yun ang owner's equity. So, total ng liabilities, total ng equity, ang tawag doon, ito yun, na dapat balansyado. Kaya tinawag siya balance sheet. Dapat balansyado siya doon sa total assets. Okay. Tulad ng 70 million, bumili yun ng mga property at yung mga ibang assets. Okay. So kung makikita niyo yung depreciation dito, mina-minus yun every year. Mina-minus. Okay. After each year, mina-minus. Bakit ganito ang nito? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway. Ganito kasi yung mga accountants sa palaging current year for comparison lang. Okay. So, ito yung current assets. You need not to be an accountant. Tinaano ko lang ito. Pinapakita ko lang sa inyo na kasi nasa pro forma nung tayo. Meron tayong tinatawag na income statement, may tinatawag tayong balance statement. At mamaya, yung cash flow. So, tatlo yan. Tapusin ko muna yung income statement. So, you can arrive at this. Okay? Pagkatapos mo makuha yung investment, huwag mo na niyo gagawin to hanggang hindi niyo nakukuha yung investment. Okay. So, how much investment is required of funding? Okay. Try to listen closely. Sabi ko noon, sa last Monday, meron tayong 4 na items to determine your total funds requirement. Ito yan. Fixed assets, pre-operating expenses, working capital, and then cash. Okay. Now, for purposes of illustration, ito mga binili ninyo. Kunyari, 42 desktops, may server, may delivery van na 2, may warehouse at office building, may land, may machine and equipment. Okay? Including, ano ba ito? Okay. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning, HVAC. Tinotal natin, 25 million. Okay. Tapos yung life in years nila, kapag yung mga 10, 25, dapat pala ito dapat mga 3 years. Kailan ba pinapalitan ng mga desktop class? Mga 3 years lang. Sige, assume na lang natin 5. Pag dinivide din nyo itong amounts nito by their respective life in years, you will get an annual depreciation like this figure, 2688. Okay. So kung pupunta tayo sa income statement ulit, makikita ninyo yung depreciation nito. Constant yan. Pag wala kayong bibili na bago, constant yan. 2688. Okay. So, dyan nakukuha yung figure na yun. Ito yun, annual depreciation. Now, go back to the, how much funds do we need? So, kung may mag-i-invest sa atin, kung maaari, wala tayong ilalabas na pera. Okay. So, pwede ito. So, makukuha natin yung fixed assets, 25.4 million. Yung pre-operating, in-estimate lang natin, 200,000. It can be more. Okay. Working capital, ito yung assumption, 2 months. 2 months. Okay. Na i-finance natin, na magpo-produce tayo na wala pang pumapasok na pera. Wala pang pumapasok na pera. Okay. Now, how did I get this? Tingnan ninyo, cost of goods sold for year 1. Ito yan, Yeah. That's 1 year. I-divide lang ninyo ng 12. Tapos i-multiply niyo ng 2 months. Ito yun. Pwede kayo mag-assume 3 months, 6 months na walang kita. Tapos magpa-finance. Pwede kayo mag-assume nun. Ito lang, ginawa ko lang example yung 2 months. So, not necessarily yan. For example lang. Okay. So, ganun din sa sa GS. Okay, sa GSAE. May twist lang konti. Yung depreciation kasi, ito, hindi kasi pera yan. Hindi yan pera. Itong 2688. Ano lang yan computational figure lang yan. So if you talk about financing, i-total mo muna, tapos i-minus mo ito. Kasi non-cash transaction ko. So 42 minus that. Tapos saka mo i-divide ng 12, tapos multiply mo ng 2. Ayun. Yan yung ginawa rito. Less depreciation divided by 12 times 2. So, pag na-total yan, meron kang 42 million. So, meron na tayong tatlo, Fixed assets, pre-operating expenses, at working capital. Okay. How about your cash? The cash is somehow subjective. Now, this is one way of trying to compute for your cash requirements. Pag tinotal mo itong tatlo, it is shown here. 67 million. Okay. Subjective to. So, 67 yan. So, kung 67 yan, pwede ka magsabi na 75 Sige, 70 million muna. Yan. So pag nilagay mo 70 million, kasi pang ano lang, ano tawag doon? Pang alis lang ng butal at a higher rate. So meron kang cash ng 2.5 million. Okay? If you're not comfortable with that, palta mo yung 70 million. Pwede mong gawing 80 million. Yan. So ganito yung cash mo on hand. Pero lalaki yung ano mo, investment money mo, 80 million. Okay. Pwede mo rin sabihin 75 million. Now, ito lang yung catch dyan. Habang tumataas itong required funding mo, yung return on investment mo, bumababa habang tinataasan mo ito. Tingnan ninyo, ha? Kung 75 million yan, gawin natin 80 million. Bababa siya. 37 million. Pag nilagyan mo lang siya ng 70 million, ang taas niya, 43%. So, kung nilagay mo siya sa 75 million, okay. Now, what is ROI? Di ba? Sabi natin, no? Equal to the average 5-year net income after tax divided by investment. So, habang tumataas yung investment, bumababa itong ROI. So, kung pupunta kayo sa income statement, ayan yan. Net income after tax, kukunin ninyo yung average niya. Dito yan. Okay. Ayan, average. Tapos i-divide niyo dito. Ayun na. And then, yung payback period niya is the reciprocal of ROI. So, pwede mo siyang bawiin in 2.5 years. So, nakita niyo yung combination. No? Sa income statement, meron ka ng profitability ratio. Okay? So, that would be an initial indicator kung kumikita o hindi. Tapos, investment-wise, ano yung ROI, pati ano yung payback. So, yun yung mga importanteng financial ratios. Okay. Now, last, cash flow. Simple lang naman ang cash flow. Yung unang pumasok sa inyong pera. Kunyari, pumasok sa inyo, year 1, 70, pero dapat year 0 yun. There should be a year 0 actually. Yeah. Dapat may year 0 kayo. Pasok yan dito, year 0. Dali na sa investment. Yeah. Actually, mali itong year 1. Dapat 75. Pwede rin i-consider just for study purposes. Sige, for study purposes. Pinasok natin yung 75 million. Tapos, ginamit natin. Actually, ginamit natin. Okay. Ginamit natin dito. Pagbili ng mga ito. Wala pang operations eh. So, kaya ko siya gusto lagyan ng year 0. Para ang ending cash niya, itong 74541. Yan na. Pwede na yan. Sige. Lagyan na lang natin para hindi kayo malito. Okay. Equals. So, papakita ko lang sa inyo kung paano gumagana ito. So, when you try to start the year 1, yung ending balance ninyo rito sa preceding year is equal to the starting balance of the next year. Okay? Then yung cash at the end of the year, depende yan sa ano, dito. Depende na yan dito. Kung ano yung mga ginawa. Siyempre, may papasok pang pera dyan. May papasok. Okay. So, ito yung expenses. Ito yung kikitain. You will note yung depreciation ina-add back. Ina-add back siya. Kasi non-cash yun. Okay. Tapos i-add back ninyo yung depreciation. Tapos lahat ng gastos, lagay niyo rito. Nagkataon lang negative. Okay. Pati rito. Naging negative. Ay, no. Wait. Ito dapat nandito. Ayan. Ayan. Ayan na. Yan lang yung mga example. So, kaya siya pula dahil cash paid for. Tapos ito yung net cash flow. So, sabi ko nga, in the first year, pwedeng mawalang cash. Pwedeng umutang. Dito umuutang yung mga kumpanya. Tapos ito. See? So, now you have produced yung balance sheet, cash flow, income statement. Then you can compute from them your financial ratios. Tapos lahat ng mga ito, magagamit niyo sa executive summary pag gusto niyo para makumpleto yung inyong business plan. Okay? Ayan. So that completes yung discussion ng financial plan. Questions? Punta lang ako sa ano.